The Magic of Norumbega, Chapter 6, Across the River. Getty sat across the river from Norumbega and tried to calm down. She longed for the safety and peace of Dog Park. There was nothing more in Norumbega that she had any interest in seeing. All she could think of now was getting as far away from Cushman as possible. She stood up, shut her eyes, and said the words that would take her home. To Norumbega, in times long past, where memories made will forever last, then home again. Getty abruptly stopped speaking as the air filled with music. It wasn't the organ music she had heard at the merry-go-round, and it wasn't anything like the scratchy jingles playing at the game arcades and food concessions throughout the park. This music was full and rich, and it made her skin tingle. This was the music she used to hear softly in Dog Park, but now it was powerful and lively, and it almost swept her off her feet. It was the most enchanting sound she had ever heard. This was the music of Norumbega. This was the reason Getty had come in the first place. How had she forgotten? Getty's tail began to wag, and her feet began to tap. Her body swayed from side to side. Before she could stop herself, Getty was dancing. "I can't go home yet," she cried, pushing all thoughts of Cushman out of her mind. "I have to go back to Norumbega and find that music." It was almost dusk, and Getty knew her best chance of getting across the river without being seen was to wait until dark. She hoped the boaters would go home when the sun set, but they did not. It was a hot night, and the boats continued to drift lazily on the water. When the people draped canopies of netting over their canoes to keep out the mosquitoes, Getty began to realize they were going to stay on the river late into the night as long as the music continued to play. Without warning, the darkened sky over the river was lit by a bright spotlight. Everyone looked up to see what was happening. Getty looked up too. She heard an announcement coming from the Norumbega shore. "Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention 100 feet above the river. Norumbega is proud to present the amazing Maisie, our star Iron Jaw acrobat. Watch her as she crosses the river by rolling along a high wire, holding on only with her teeth." The beam of light illuminated two tall, thin towers. Getty could see that one was positioned at the edge of the river in Norumbega. The second tower, slightly shorter, was directly across the river, just a few yards from where she stood. A sloped wire ran between the towers, high above the water. A mouthpiece, which resembled a horse's bit, was fastened to the wire with a ring, and a woman in a star-spangled tutu clung to the mouthpiece with her teeth. The spotlight followed Maisie as she slowly glided along the wire, dangling dangerously over the river. The audience below craned their neck to look upwards, watching breathlessly. While the onlookers oohed and awed and applauded Maisie as she traveled east to west above the river, Getty quickly and quietly swam west to east in the darkened waters below. She hoisted herself back onto the shores of Norumbega just as the trapeze artist was taking her bows.